Hi everybody, so today we're just going to do a short flow just to release tension in the body, nothing too crazy. We'll have a couple of standing postures, but nothing really complicated, and there won't be any vinyasas, so that's something good to look forward to. So starting off, we're going to take a couple of pillows if you have them. They're not totally necessary, but just placing them towards the bottom of your mat. Take your soles of the feet together if it feels okay, and then press your back onto the mat so your head is on the pillow, and you have a little gap here. Take your palms to face up. Close your eyes if you want to. Find yourself comfortable. So try to let your hips be really heavy, your knees be heavy. Hands are going to be facing upward. And begin just by taking a couple of deep inhales through the nose and release them out through the mouth. Allowing that exhale out through the mouth to melt away any thoughts or worries or plans or anything you have going on in your mind. And allowing your body just to relax down into the mat. So now begin to move into the more traditional type of yogic breath. So inhaling and exhaling both through the nose. Inhaling to your belly and moving up along the torso with your inhales. And then exhaling from the belly through the lungs. Up through the top of the chest. Fully exhaling all of the air out and making room for new air, new energy, new prana to enter the body. Each exhale, allowing more relaxation, more release through the muscles. On your next inhale, gently blink the eyes open if you've had them closed. We're going to take the hands on the outsides of the thighs, pull the knees together, and then gently move your cushions away. Come down to lie onto your back. Pull the right knee in, left leg is going to be long. Take the knee towards the armpit, and then maybe move, micro movements, rocking the knee a little bit. Try to keep your left hip on the floor. So if this is uncomfortable with your left leg long, you can have it bent. And then we're going to release with the left hand. Take the right hand to the shin and open the hip up a little bit more. So we're still kind of bringing it up towards the top corner. But out to the side, you can even extend the foot away from the buns a little. Try to keep the left leg pretty relaxed. Take that knee back to center while keeping your whole upper body the same. Pull the leg across. You can take your right arm out to the side. If it feels okay, you can start to straighten the right leg, but it's not necessary. You can keep it bent, staying with where your body feels comfortable today. We want our right shoulder to stay on the mat. Looking wherever feels good. And then make your way slowly back to center. We're going to bend the left leg, bring the right ankle across the knee. Maybe press it out a little bit. And then you can pull your legs up Bring the hands back behind the left leg. Maybe rock from side to side. Maybe pull the legs a little closer and then release away. So if you were in my class yesterday, this might feel really fantastic if your outer thighs are sore from those leg pulses we were doing. Take one more inhale here. And then go ahead and release that right leg. You can take it long or bent depending on what feels good. Pull the left knee up towards the armpit. Make any little movements that feel all right for you. Continuing to connect with your breath. Deep inhales and exhales. And then releasing the right arm, taking the left hand onto the shin. Pull that leg out to the side, maybe taking the foot a little further away. And try to relax through the right side of the body. Take the knee back to center, and then keeping both shoulders on the ground, just begin to gently take the leg across. If it doesn't come to the floor, that's fine. It could be here. You could even put your left foot on the right thigh if that feels okay, or take it all the way down, and even maybe extending the leg. And looking wherever feels good. It might be over the left arm. And then slowly make your way back to center. Pull that right foot up. Left leg is going to go ankle over knee on the right leg, and then pull your arms through so you have the back of the thigh. Make any movements that feel good. Notice if this side feels tighter than the other side. Go ahead and release the foot off of the other one. Pull both knees into the chest. And we're going to take a few rocks to make it up to seated. And then crossing at the ankles, come all the way over onto all fours. Find your way here so your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, knees under hips, and then we'll inhale, reach the chest forward. Roll the shoulders away. Exhale, press the hands away and really press the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, press away. One more round. Exhale to press away. And then sit your hips back onto your heels. Take your knees close together so you can stay here with your heels underneath your buns. Or if you like hero and you want to take there, you can pull the feet apart from each other. Knees are still together. Heel is right on the outside of the hip. You can even take your cushion and put it underneath your butt to give yourself a little bit more length. So if that feels good, stay there, but otherwise, heels right underneath your buns. Try to press all of your toes into the ground. And then everybody will take the hands behind the back and clasp. Roll the shoulders away. Breathing. And if it feels okay on your shoulders, you can reach the hands away from you. And go ahead and release your arms. So we're going to come forward. We're going to tuck our toes under. You might need to pull your whole body off the ground like I do. Get all of your toes down. And then start to shift forward with your knees so that they're on the ground. So if this is really intense, stay here. If you have tiny pinky toes, they might have a hard time staying on the mat like mine do. If you can lean back, go ahead and lean back. But if you need to be forward here, because this can feel like the worst thing in the whole entire world, you can lean forward. And we'll just close the eyes and return to the breath. Anytime that you're ready to come out of this, come out of it. You don't have to stay for a super long time because it's not really the best feeling. So one more round of breath if you can. And then lean forward. Pick up the toes, wiggle them around, roll your feet around, stretching the ankles. And then we're going to take the hands, a hand print forward, shift the hips back and up, downward facing. So everybody, first thing you're going to do is come up onto the toes, bend your knees, take your belly along your thighs, send your hips back. So the angle between your hand and your arm is pretty big. And then if it feels good, you can slowly start to straighten your legs, maybe send the heels down towards the mat. But we don't want our legs being straight to affect the way that we're holding our back, and we want our shoulders to be really far away from our wrists. And then once you're there, you can bend one leg, straightening the other, maybe shifting your hips. Doing whatever feels good. And then go ahead and take the feet wide, so they're going to be about mat width. Walk the hands back to the feet. And forward fold over those legs. So if you need your knees to be bent so that your back can be long, go ahead and bend the knees. We're going to take the big toes with our first two fingers and thumb, and then maybe begin to straighten the legs. Let your head be heavy. Try to send your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Pull your navel in. Shake your head yes and no. On your next inhale, release the fingertips, come halfway up. So we have a really long spine, sending our tailbone behind us, and then turn the toes out to the angle, to the corners, and sit the hips down. So if you're high up because your hips are really tight, that's okay. You can stay there. It's a little bit more of a workout on your thighs, but that's okay. Otherwise, you're going to sit the hips all the way down. Take the hands to the heart if you can. So you can be all the way down and still have your hands down if that feels better. Otherwise, right here, and press the knees open. Try to relax through the low back. Take one more round of breath here. And then we'll take the hands down, walk them back out, downward facing. Find a good downward facing dog for you. So again, if your heels are up and your legs are bent, it's fine. Press into your fingertips, press into your finger joints so your wrist isn't getting a whole lot of weight. And then if it feels okay, we're going to pick up the right arm and we're going to take it to the left calf. You can begin to open your shoulders, keep your hips as still as you can, and then look underneath your left armpit if it doesn't make you lose your balance. Try not to drop into that shoulder. Press away with the left hand. And then replace the right hand down. Press into the fingertips. Switch to the other side. So if you can look at the screen, there's a difference between this and this with my shoulder. So press your shoulder so that it's pressing through the hands. You're not putting all the weight into your shoulder joint. And then you can look under your under armpit if it feels okay. Return back to center. Drop your knees down. Take a child's pose. So in this child's pose, what we're going to do is take our hands behind our back, interlace the fingers, and reach the arms away if you can. Try to let your hips be heavy. Try to keep your shoulders rolled away from your ears. And then go ahead and release the hands down. So from there, take your hands back out, tuck the toes, come back to downward facing. We're going to lift the right leg up, bend at the knee, open the hips, but close your right shoulder down towards the floor. So your foot is reaching towards your butt, and then you can draw some big circles with that knee if it feels okay. Maybe go the opposite way. And then take that foot back down. Left leg this time, inhaling to reach it up, bending at the knee. Drawing some circles. Closing the left shoulder down towards the floor. Opposite direction. Foot's going to come back down. Look forward on your mat. Step, hop, walk. Come halfway up the top. And come to a forward fold. And then we'll slowly roll ourselves up to come to standing. Inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale, hands down to the heart. We're going to take a big step back with our right foot. Come to turn towards the long edge of the mat. So you want your toes to turn in just a little bit. And then you're going to take the hands on the hips. Roll the shoulders back and away and tilt from the hip crease to come forward. So press into the feet. Pull the kneecaps up. Take the hands down if you can, but you can have them on your shins, thighs, hips, not the knees. If you have them down on the floor, try to take them so they're in line with your feet. And pull your elbows in so that they're parallel with one another. Just relax here. Stay active through the legs, pulling the kneecaps up. Upper body relaxing. Tilt the weight forward to your toes if you can. And then we're going to take the left hand, placing it directly underneath the left shoulder. Twist up towards the right, keeping your hips perfectly level with one another. You can even take your hand down to your low back to see if it's level. And then exhale your way back down. Right hand comes under right shoulder. Twist open the other way. So again, you can take your hands to your sacrum, low back. Notice if your hips are tilting one way or the other. And then come back to center. We're going to turn the left toes to the front of the mat. Take the right toes in just a little bit. Take your forearm of your left arm to your thigh and roll yourself open to extended side angle. So press into the heel of that front leg and then reach the arm if it feels okay. Try to send your hips underneath you, so hip points pointing towards your ribs. One more inhale here. And then we're going to sweep the arm down. Come back to that forward fold, and then you'll turn the right toes to the front, or towards the front on their side. Left toes turn in a little bit, bending that right knee, forearm to thigh, roll yourself up into the extended side angle. Hips pressing forward, and then you can take the arm in line with your ear. One more round of breath. And then take your hand all the way down, come back to that forward fold. One long inhale and exhale here. And then inhale to come halfway up. Take the toes to the corner, bend both knees, roll yourself up, shoulders back and away. Come to goddess pose. So you can have your hands on your hips, or you can take them to heart center. Try to come down so that your hips and knees are in a line, and you have to squeeze your buns to hold you there. And then inhale, come back up to standing. Turn yourself towards the front of the mat. Step yourself back, downward facing. Drop down to your knees. We're going to walk the hands out really far and slowly begin to drop your chest towards the floor. So if you're here and you want to put your forehead on the ground, that's fine. If you can come a little bit further so your chest is coming down, forehead can still be down. Or if you're feeling really good, press your chest all the way down. Set your chin on the floor. So see chin. Pull your navel in. Try to relax here. Then press into the hands, lift your chest up off the ground. Walk yourself back, take a child's pose with the hands along the sides. Take your hands up, roll yourself up. We're going to cross over the ankles, come to seated. Take the legs out long. Maybe move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Reach your chest high. Press your thighs into the ground. Toes come back. And then reach forward. So you might just be here. You might be here. With each inhale, coming longer through the spine and tilting your tailbone back behind you. Coming maybe a little bit further. Maybe a little further down with each exhale. And then if you can get your belly so that it's completely flat on your legs, you can round your upper back. Still reaching the chest forward. And then on your next inhale, slowly come up. Take your hands behind you, bending at the knees. Pick the hips up. Roll the shoulders back. You can keep the chin up, or you can drop the head back if it feels okay. And then exhale, set the hips down. Roll yourself down onto your back. Take the hands down by your sides. So your heels need to be a little ways away from your buns, hip width apart. Keep your gaze directly at the ceiling, so if you need to watch what I'm doing first, you can do that, and then go into it. So hands down by the sides. We want a nice space between our neck and the floor. Press into the heels, tuck your pelvis upwards, hips coming towards your ribs, gently lift up, and then exhale to come down. So we're not lifting really far. When you get down, rolling back up. So a little bit of a massage on your low back. Staying here a little longer if you want to, but if you're done, go ahead and set the hips down. Knees are going to come into the chest one more time. Pull them out towards your armpits. Maybe grab your feet. So you can stay here. I like to stay here because my left hip sometimes doesn't agree. But if it feels okay, you can lift the feet up, maybe take the legs a little wider. Try to keep your low back pressing down. But again, here is fine too. Or anywhere in between. Go ahead and release the feet. Place them down, hips width apart, maybe wider. We're just going to windshield wiper them from side to side. And then one last time to center. Pull yourself into a tiny ball. Take the deepest inhale that you can possibly take here. And exhale yourself, slowly melting down into the mat, coming wherever feels good. If you want to start or if you want to end like we started with your feet together, knees wide, go for it. You can even take your arms up above the head. Take 3 long inhales through the nose and exhale out through the mouth, allowing the body to relax further with each exhale. And then just allow your breath to return to its natural state. Bring your attention down to your belly and try to bring all of your thoughts to the way that it feels for your inhales and exhales to cause your belly to rise and fall.